One in TV land. This is Focus on Liberia online television, and you are listening to the Focus on Liberia Daily News with Gwendolyn Dorado. I bring you the headlines. George accuses Buckeye of nepotism and tribalism. UN Women promotes gender equality and women's empowerment. Former Liberian president nominated for prestigious Chatham House Prize. UL students decry hardship in commuting to school over lack of school buses, and Ministry of Health create awareness on HPV vaccine uptake. Those were the headlines, and I'll bring you the news in details. The resident George Criminal Court C, Blamo Dixon, has raised concerns regarding the alleged prevalence of nepotism and tribalism, citing a disproportionate representation of individuals from Lofa County in government roles. Judge Dixon spoke on the issue during an event at the D12 Memorial High School last week when he served as a guest speaker at the induction and fundraising program of leadership elect of the institution in the Newcretown Bushra Island community. While Dixon did not provide details to justify his claims against President Buckeye, he emphasized the need for transparency and fair practices in the appointment process, stressing the importance of combating practices like tribalism, nepotism, and favoritism as forms of corruption. Meanwhile, Judge Dixon also commented on the process of dismissing tenure holders, recommending a fair and transparent approach that aligns with administrative law and civil service regulations. He said the process was marred by inefficiency and errors. Judge Dixon's remarks underscored the significance of ethical governance and accountability in public service appointments and the need to address corruption in all its forms for the betterment of Liberian society. UN Women Liberia, as part of effort to promote women's empowerment in Liberia, has concluded a one-day Young Women Leaders Roundtable to discuss generation equality commitment in Liberia as part of the International Women's Month. The program was held on Thursday, March 28 in Monrovia to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the Beijing Platform for Action in 2021, which was launched by UN Women, styled Generation Equality Campaign, engaging the new generation in the fight for gender equality, which is the world's leading effort to unlock political will, build cross-sectorial partnerships, and accelerate investments. Ms. Comfort Lamptey, representative UN Women Liberia, spoke at the program that brought together influential young women from the private and public sectors. She said since the inception of Generation Equality, UN Women's efforts have focused on placing young people at the center of Beijing plus 25 to make sure that they are the driving seat of all galvanizing movement and process that will contribute to gender equality. She continued, the commitment with the time frame of 3 years and financially valued at US 8 million with US 6 million for the implementation of the government of Liberia and partners anti-SGBV roundtable, and US 2 million annually for 2 years for the economic empowerment of women and girls in Liberia, which excludes the Spotlight Initiative and other funds from partners. However, more needs to be done, she said. In a notable recognition of Liberia's strides towards democracy and peace, former President George Weah has been nominated for the esteemed Chatham House Prize for the year 2024. The nomination comes in acknowledgement of President Weah's graceful concession following Liberia's 2023 elections, marking a significant milestone in the nation's democratic journey. The Chatham House Prize, established by the Royal Institute for International Affairs at Chatham House in London, honors individuals or organizations that have made understanding contribution to the advancement of international relations. President Weah finds himself among 4 distinguished nominees, a testament to his pivotal role in fostering stability and democratic principle in Liberia and beyond, and dignified acceptance of defeat after the 2023 polls is hailed as a beacon of hope in a region marred by historical civil unrest. His measured response facilitated Liberia's second peaceful transfer of power in over 7 decades, setting a positive example in democratic transitions across West and Central African and resonating globally. President Weah's nomination stands as a testament to Liberia's ongoing journey toward democracy and underscores the importance of statesmanship and peaceful political transitions in shaping a more stable and prosperous world. Students of the University of Liberia have alarmed over the absence of buses to transport them to Fendel campus. It is almost a month now since normal learning activities began on the campus of the university. That's the campuses of the University of Liberia for the first time under the leadership of President Wakai. This comes following an appeal to the UL Faculty Association to return to the status quo. Since normal classes have resumed, first students of the University of Liberia Fender campus said not everything is normal. Getting to school is too costly for most of them. Michael Doe, a junior student studying general forestry, told reporters his transportation fare to and fro has increased from $200 Liberian to $500 Liberian, and that he is a self-supported student, and also worried that the situation will lead to another protest if the government does not intervene, thus impeding progress in his learning activities. And this situation is with all the students, he said. When contacted, Norris Toy, head of the UL Relations, acknowledged the situation but appealed to the students to remain calm. He told the FPA that beginning next week, the buses will be available to transport them to Fender campus. The University of Liberia holds a vast number of students studying at the university. The late introduction of buses will hinder the majority of the students, most of whom are unemployed, from enrolling. The early introduction will be a great relief to most students who are on the verge of changing the college to attend classes on the Capitol Hill campus. The Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the World Health Organization, has kick-started activities of the World Health Day celebration with an awareness to increase to uptake of HPV vaccine in the country. On Thursday, the Ministry of Health and the World Health Organization country team, headed by Dr. Clement Lugala Peter, the WHO representative for Liberia, were joined Senator Daba M. Vabla, chairperson of the Senate Committee on Health, and launched the campaign at the F. Sham of Faith Girls School in Soul Clinic, Pinsville. The vaccine against human papillomavirus, HPV, the leading cause of cervical cancer, can prevent the vast majority of cases, and combined with screening and treatment provides a path to elimination. In her keynote address, Senator Vapla stressed the need for carrying out the initiatives in all parts of the country and that every Liberian must have access to preventable, curable, and rehabilitative health care. The Grand Cape Mount County Senator said that the HPV vaccine is available in most of the health facilities in Liberia and encouraged parents to take their children for the vaccine. In addition to the vaccination drive with the theme My Health, My Right, is a series of the activities marking this year's celebration of World Health Day have lined up, including 2 blood donation drives, one at the Ministry of Health and another at the United Nations compound to promote voluntary blood donation at the availability of blood when needed. Another activity is the distribution of wheelchairs to people living with disabilities. That does it for the Focus on Liberia Daily News. I bring you a recap of the headlines. George accuses Boakai of nepotism and tribalism. UN Women promotes gender equality and women's empowerment. Former Liberian president nominated for prestigious Chatham House Prize. UL students decry hardship in commuting to school over lack of school buses. And Ministry of Health create awareness on HPV vaccine uptake. On behalf of the management and staff of Focus Liberia, many thanks to our listeners and viewers. We urge that you keep following us and share our videos. My name is Gwendolyn Dorado. I present it.